Welcome to Poetry with Shing, where we uncover the beauty behind poetry. In today's episode, we'll be looking at The Chimney Sweeper by William Blake. And the question that we'll be answering today is write a critical commentary on the following poem, considering in detail ways in which our response is shaped by the writer's form, style, and language. Without further ado, let's begin. The Chimney Sweeper by William Blake details the inhumane way the young chimney sweepers lead their lives in child labor. Through the poem, Blake criticizes society for their heartless exploitation of the children. This can be seen as he presents the hopelessness of the children's plight in the first three stanzas, and then presents the idea of hope in the form of religious salvation in stanza 4 in contrast. However, there is a change in the last two stanzas as the events presented seem to be positive, but there is an underlying sadness in it. The children who are subjected to child labor have a pitiful life, where their innocence was stripped from them since young and they had no choice in being a chimney sweeper. When the speaker was a baby, his father sold him while yet his tongue could scarcely cry. So that would be here. The circumstances that led him to become a chimney sweeper was due to poverty, and he had no say in the decision made by his father since he could not speak at that time. This hints at the vulnerability that the children face, which is further emphasized by the symbolism of Tom Dacre's head that curled like a lamb's back. So that's more vulnerability, which was shared. Lamb symbolizes innocence and sacrifice, so the children were innocent and their heads were shaved, showing that they were exposed and naked. So there's an idea of exposed and once again vulnerable, showing their vulnerability to the cruelty of the outside world. So what exactly is this vulnerability to the cruel outside world? Furthermore, the idea of their pitiful fate is extended as Tom dreamt of thousands of sweepers who are locked up in coffins of black. The coffin is vivid imagery for suffering, death, and confinement. So this idea of coffin, so suffering, death, confinement, especially as being locked up did not mean the chimney sweepers were dead. The feeling of suffering is linked to the children having to breathe in soot when they clean the chimneys, hence hastening their inevitable death, and their feelings of confinement is linked to working in the small and narrow chimneys. The pitiful state of the chimney sweepers evoke the pity from the readers, as the chimney sweepers are described to be unknowing, innocent children. This sense of darkness is contrasted to the following stanzas, which present a hopeful perspective on the seemingly hopeless plight of the chimney sweepers. The stanza mentions a divine intervention, being the angel who wielded a solution to their suffering as he had a bright key. The sweepers were all set free as the angel unlocked their coffins, symbolizing that they had died and risen to heaven, and the imagery of them being happy is portrayed as they leapt, laughed, and ran. The use of the present continuous tense in these verbs is to show their continuous joy. So that's the use of continuous tense. And is used to show their continuous joy in heaven, unlike on earth, by washing in a river and shining in the sun. The introduction of nature implies that they have found their innocence and that they were washing their burdens and cleansing themselves of soot and sin. However, despite the happiness conveyed in this stanza, there is a hint of sadness in it, as Tom dreamt of an angel who would save all the chimney sweepers, including himself. This shows that nothing on earth can rescue the children of their suffering, and the divine intervention can only do so after the children have died. This message is further extended in the next few stanzas. The poet brings out the futility of hope that a divine intervention can The poet brings out the futility of hope that a divine intervention can rescue the children of their plight, and from there leads readers to question the role of society in leading to the chimney sweepers having this fate they have. As the dream continues, the angel told Tom, if he'd be a good boy, he would have God for his father and never want joy. The word if stands out because it shows the chimney sweepers believe that if they want to go to heaven, they must be good. However, the definition of being a good boy is subjective. And the sweepers interpret it as having to suffer in their lives and to tolerate the abuse, so that the innocent and carefree life he has lost on earth will be gained when he reaches heaven. The concept of heaven is something flimsy and unconfirmed, yet the sweepers are willing to continue working just because they hold on to their hope, showing that faith keeps the sweepers alive. The children's mentality is worrying and wrong, which can be seen as the poet uses slant rhyme in the last two lines of the poem to indicate so. Slant rhyme. From there, he's trying to signal to readers that the futility of their hopes of getting a better life in heaven is because of their innocence and them not knowing the truth about religion, which is in turn the society's fault as they know the truth about religion, yet withhold the truth from the children to exploit them to continue working as chimney sweepers. The chimney sweeper not only represents chimney sweepers, but also everyone who suffer abuse but choose to tolerate it, as it portrays the cruelty of others around them who see the truth of their hope, yet keep the truth from them such that they keep suffering. Alright, that marks the end of the today's poetry analysis. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.